All right, AFC, NFC South. Hope y'all having a great 4th of July. Let's get it started. The NFC South, the baddest, roughest, toughest division in all football, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get it popping. The New Orleans Saints finished 13-3, won the division crown, beat the Detroit Lions in the first round of the playoffs. Unfortunately, they ran into the San Francisco 49ers, which that was a one hell of a game last year, and they lost to them. So their strength is their offense. They were ranked number 1 overall. Their running game was ranked 6th. Their defense still can create turnovers. They were good. They were really good. Here's the problem. Overall defense for the New Orleans Saints, 24th. They were the worst. No, not the worst. They were the 3rd worst pass defense in the National Football League. And it's something they got to get cleaned up. If they do that, I can see the New Orleans Saints winning a lot more games, but unfortunately, this past offseason, they're dealing with Bounty Gate drama. Sean Payton out for the year with a suspension. Joe Vitt, who's an assistant head coach, he's out for at least first half of the season, upcoming 2012 season. The players, I think we're out between 8 games. I think it's Anthony Hargrove, Jonathan Vilma, he's out for the year, and that's about it. 2 other former Saints players who are playing either Cleveland and some other team, I can't remember, they're out like 3 or 4 games suspension because of the Bounty Gate situation. So, having said all that, will New Orleans Saints defend the NFC South crown and go back-to-back? That's the question for them in 2012 season. Now, as for the Atlanta Falcons, they finished 10-6, second behind New Orleans Saints. They made it to the playoffs, but unfortunately, they were a complete no-show against the New York Football Giants. So, their strength was their passing game, which is they were 8th. Offense overall, they were 10th. The defense were ranked 12th. Against the run, they were 6th, so they were really good. Now, here comes the issues. The pass defense is ranked 20th. They got to work on that. And the expectations with the Atlanta Falcons, it's every time there's an expectations with that franchise, they fall flat on their face. If they're not getting embarrassed at home in the playoff game against the Green Bay Packers, which is 2 years ago, they're getting punched in the mouth by the New York Football Giants. Only can muster up 2 points. Well, then again, that was the defense. The offense was basically a no-show. And all I keep hearing, Matt Ryan, a.k.a. Matty Ice, oh, he's an elite quarterback. He's this, he's that. He's 0-3 all-time in the playoffs. Yes, I understand Peyton Manning was 0-3 all-time when he was first started out. But still, come on. Come on, Matt Ryan. Step your game up. If the Atlanta Falcons can live up to the expectations, they can go to the NFC Championship game, possibly the Super Bowl bound. Carolina Panthers, they finished 6-10, which I predicted that they were going to win 6 games last year. Their offense, they were ranked 7th overall, 13th in passing game, which I don't care. As long as that passing game for the Carolina Panthers improve, that's all it matters to me. I love the running game, but the passing game has to improve, and I'm happy. Cam Newton did his thing. The weakness, Cam Newton, he has a tendency to throw off his back foot. He doesn't read the zone coverage very well. I'm going to find that article and I'm going to put a link in the info bar. That's something he has to work on, and he needs to stop isolating himself and acting like it's the end of the world every time he makes a mistake. Football is a team sport. I had to get that out of the way. Another issues with the Carolina Panthers is their defense, for the fact that they were ranked 28th overall, 24th against the pass, 25th against the run. They got to do something. with the running game. I mean, with defense. I understand most of them were injured, and some players were inexperienced or they got limited time and all this other stuff. But there's no excuse to be this bad. No excuse. You get paid big bucks. If the Carolina Panthers can do it again, the offense improving and their defense get to, middle of the pack, between like 15th, 16th ranked in total defense overall, they can make a serious run for the division crown for the NFC South. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they finished 4-12. I think they had a 10-game losing streak, if I'm not mistaken. The positives, oh wow. Their passing game was good, I guess. Ranked 16th. The rest of it, well, it's just negative. They were ranked. They were ranked 30th in total defense. Their pass defense was bad. Against the run, they were worse. You don't believe me? Go ask the Carolina Panthers. Go ask the other teams that beat the crap out of them. And plus, they were totally undisciplined. They kind of remind you of the Oakland Raiders, but the Raiders, we'll get to them later. If the Tampa Bay Buccaneers can modify the offense and defense with the new head coach, Greg Schiano, out of University of Rutgers, Scarlet Knights, from college to pros, bringing in that discipline. If they do all that, who knows? They can win more than 4 games, 6, 7 games. Now, here's my final predictions for the NFC South. Atlanta Falcons 10-6, Carolina Panthers 9-7, New Orleans Saints 8-8, and Tampa Bay Buccaneers 6-10. And please do not get butthurt because of my picks are different than yours. Tell me why I'm right. Tell me why I'm wrong. Let's be civil. Let's act like an adult. If you can't do that, don't post a comment. If you post a negative, stupid comment, I'll block you and delete your comments. It's just that simple. Okay? Now, the Houston Texans finished 10-6 last year, won the division crown, beat the Cincinnati Bengals for the first round of the playoffs. Well, unfortunately, they ran into the Baltimore Ravens and lost in the second round of the playoffs. Their strength were their defense, thanks to their Wade Phillips as a defensive coordinator. The running game was phenomenal, thanks to Adrian Foster, who's a beast of a running back. 2 issues. One is small, one is large. The large one is the injuries. They got to find a way to stay healthy. Matt Schaub and Matt Leinart got hurt, and they had to go to a third-string rookie who was also an unproven quarterback, T.J. Yates, out of the University of North Carolina. So, and the passing game, they'll get that fixed. They'll get that worked out. If the Houston Texans can stay injury-free, who knows? They will win. Not only they'll sweep the AFC South, they can win at least 13, 14 games. Tennessee Titans finished 9-7, second behind the Houston Texans. Matt Hasselbeck played pretty well last year, and the pass defense was pretty good. They only allowed 245.2 yards per game through the air. They were ranked 12. Kenny Britt played pretty well. I think he led the AFC with receiving yards or catches or something like that before he got hurt. The negatives, the running game was just awful. They only averaged 89.9 yards per game, which is 31st, the second worst of all time, behind the New York Giants. They're the worst of all, the worst in the league, but they won a Super Bowl, so that don't matter. Matt Hasselbeck has a history of back problems, so the offensive line for the Tennessee Titans were in the top 5 for sacks allowed, so they had to go out and draft and offensive line or bring in a free agent in the offensive line position in order to find a way to protect him from getting hurt so much. If the the Tennessee Titans find a way to get those issues resolved, they can win that crown and take it away from the Houston Texans. Jacksonville Jaguars, 5-11. Their defense was stellar. The running game is great thanks to Maurice Jones-Drew, which they were ranked 12th. Nothing to sneeze at. Unfortunately, let's just say that their passing game was the worst in the league, thanks to Blaine Gabbert playing like crap. But then again, he was a rookie last year. Their wide receivers, they were the worst wide receiving core in the National Football League. That didn't help, but now they went out and drafted Justin Blackmon. But can you really rely on him? Because he got arrested for DUI a couple months ago. So the wide receiving core has to step up, and Blaine Gabbert has to step up too. He got sacked 44 times. He doesn't like being rushed. He's damaged goods, so you got to think what Jacksonville Jaguars were thinking when they drafted this dude. So, yeah. If he doesn't get it done in the upcoming 2012 season, he's going to be riding the bench, and he ain't going to be a starting quarterback for any team from the National Football League again. Indianapolis Colts, well, the good thing is they won 2 games. The bad news is they lost 14 games, and they lost Peyton Manning for the entire year with neck surgery. Their defense was bad. The offense was horrible. They didn't have a backup quarterback at all, which I wonder what were the Indianapolis Colts were thinking. So now they drafted Andrew Luck, and hopefully the Indianapolis Colts are not as bad as they were. Hopefully they're not garbage in 2012. Now, the final predictions for the AFC South, I have the Texans 11-5, Titans 8-8, Jaguars 6-10, and Colts 5-11. Thank you for watching and listening. Get ready for the AFC NFC West. I'll check y'all later. Man, that's a long video. Wanted to make it short. Peace.